So good day, Ma'am Mel. I am J. Mr. D. Esmero and this is my oral performance task in CAF Lesson 6. So based on the discussion, what is the difference between light-dependent and light-independent reactions? So chlorophyll absorbs solar energy during the light-dependent reactions and transforms it into chemical energy that is then stored. The chemical energy obtained during the light-dependent reactions powers the construction of sugar molecules from carbon dioxide in the light-independent reactions. How are photons absorbed and utilized in the first stage of photosynthesis? The photon of light energy travels till it encounters a chlorophyll molecule. An electron in chlorophyll is stimulated by the photon and the energy it receives permits it to separate from an atom of the chlorophyll molecule. Therefore, it is claimed that chlorophyll donates an electron. Photons of the right wavelength will hit and be absorbed by the pigment protein complexes arranged around the thylakoid membranes when a plant is exposed to light. The pigment enters an electrically excited state as a result of the transfer of the photon's energy to the pigment molecule. The next question is, summarize the process of light reactions in Calvin cycle. So the Calvin-Benson-Basam or Calvin cycle, dark reactions or the reductive pentose phosphate pathway named after the cycle's first substrate. A pentose phosphate is where the second stage of photosynthesis takes place. So the cycle begins with the incorporation of atmospheric carbon dioxide into a 5-carbon substrate and a 6-carbon intermediate. The 6-carbon product is then converted into molecules of a 3-carbon phosphate sugar. By utilizing the ATP and ADPH were produced during the light-dependent reaction. Carbohydrate synthesis. The final product of photosynthesis is the facilitated by transportation a portion of triose phosphate to the cytoplasm. The majority of triose phosphate molecules remains in the chloroplast after being converted to DHAP, where they are used to regenerate the first substrate of the Calvin cycle. So in conclusion, the Rubisco fixation of atmospheric CO2 and its assimilation into a 5-carbon ribulose 1,6-biphosphate from the beginning of Calvin cycle. This is followed by a reduction phase and regeneration of RUBP substrate which accept carbon. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or G3P, a portion of the 3-carbon product, exists the cycle and serves as precursors for the biosynthesis of sugar and starch. When the first stage and ATP and ADPH are used up to the stage of carbohydrate synthesis, this is the second stage of photosynthesis. Naturally, it also makes it possible for photosynthesis which gives heterotrophs in the ecosystem food and raw materials. The next question is, what are the byproducts of reaction that depend on light? In the initial phase of photosynthesis known as the light reaction, solar energy is transformed into chemical energy in the form of ATP and NADPH. ATP and NADPH and O2 are the three byproducts of the light reaction in photosynthesis. That would be all. Thank you.